Hello, you guys. Welcome back to As Told by Kenya. It is Tuesday, so you know it is time to talk about some reality TV. The first thing, the big news off the press, is that Kandi Burruss Tucker has decided to quit Real Housewives of Atlanta. She described it as taking a break. Her words are that after the season wrapped, you have to get your renewal contract, and the producers over at Bravo was just taking too long to say what they were going to do, who they were going to bring back. And as they were taking all day, dragging their feet, she thought about her life. She thought about all the things that she was doing, and she was just like, I don't really want to come back to this show. I have other projects down the line, and I'd rather focus on those things than focus on Real Housewives. And so she decided not to come back. I do not know Kandi Burruss to be a liar, so I do not believe anyone who is saying that Kandi actually got fired. They wasn't going to bring Kandi back. We haven't gotten any word of any new ladies that Bravo has tried to contact to get back on Real Housewives, Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I don't think there's new girls down the pipe to take Kandi's spot. I don't know what Bravo plans on doing with this new season, because we haven't heard anything. So that kind of, goes to Kandi's point that what the fuck is going on with Real Housewives of Atlanta. So Kandi decided she ain't got time to be sitting around waiting, and she decided to leave. There's a few angles I want to go with this. First, I'm going to lead with love. Kandi is better than Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta, as we know it, Kandi is far better than it. Kandi is too good to be sitting up on a show arguing with Sheree. I don't have a fraction of the money that Kandi Burruss has, and I would not be sitting on anyone's television arguing with the Sheree Whitfield. It is beneath her, and it's for damn sure beneath me. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't make any sense. So at that reunion, we saw her and Sheree going back and forth, stuttering over their goddamn words over what? I don't even know what they arguing about. You got Sheree making little magazine clippings about Kandi businesses. It's just stupid. It's just so stupid. And when does it become enough? I am a person, I like to check in with myself. Whenever I am in a moment, whether it be good or bad, I check in with myself about how I feel about myself in this moment. So if I am very, very low and I'm feeling bad about myself, I tell myself, Kenya, you need to do everything in your power to never feel like this again. And if I'm very, very high, I like to tell myself, Kenya, remember this moment. This is a time that you were genuinely happy. Try your best to be in this moment all the time. And that is what I felt like Kandi was not doing. I feel like Kandi was never checking in with herself to see, is this bringing me anything? What am I getting from this moment? Does this make me happy? Does this make me feel low? And I think a lot of people need to do that. You would have less confusion in your life if you checked in with yourself and asked yourself how you truly feel in certain moments. And do you want to continue to feel like this, or do you want to feel better? And when you know those things, you make decisions depending on that. And I just hope, I wanted for Kandi to see herself arguing with Sheree and being like, you know what? This isn't worth it. This isn't what I need. I have come too far. That's another thing you have to check in with yourself about where you have come. Like, it is okay to say some things are just beneath it. You've come too far to be doing certain things. For example, you are not going to see me log onto my computer and buy a damn thing off of Shein. I have come too far to be wearing Shein clothes, right? And so that's just a check-in with myself. Like, if I have to go back to Shein buying $4 shirts, it's not, I'm doing something wrong. And that's another thing people need to check in with themselves, because I just think you can fall so far and not even realize it. And so Kandi Burruss' version of shopping on Shein is arguing with Sheree. Or even the stuff with Drew. How she was carrying the stuff with Drew and people were saying Kandi was turning into a villain. She was outing Drew. Like, you're starting to do strange things for change. You're pretending to give a fuck about Drew's relationship with women for a storyline, you know? And then you keep coming with the same storyline that you and Ty, y'all don't know how to manage your time. And it's just like, when is enough enough? When is the money not worth any of this? And I just think Kandi could just do far more. She's fighting with ladies who she would never talk to in real life. Kandi would never argue with Sheree in real life. She doesn't care enough. She would never argue with Drew in real life. She doesn't care enough. She would never argue with Marlo in real life. She does not care. She does not care about anything that's going on. I don't even know how close Kandi and Kenya really is in real life. And so it was just like, it was time for Kandi to go. It was time for Kandi to go. On the way out, Kandi has given us a lot. Kandi, I wanted Kandi to quit Real Housewives when everything happened with Phaedra. That's when I wanted Kandi to quit, because I just felt like that was like enough. Like, we've done it. That's honestly when the show should have fully rebooted, quite honestly with you. But Kandi just had no reason to be there anymore. Kandi and Phaedra were truly friends. They were truly friends. I think Kandi really cared about Phaedra. And when Phaedra did what she did to Kandi, I just think that rubbed her the wrong way. It rubbed her the wrong way, and it made her not able to really invest in this show like you would want someone to invest in a show like this. And Phaedra being back on Bravo, she's doing Traitors, she's doing Married to Medicine. That's another reason why I think Kandi should go. Like, okay, like, you got the person who did me wrong back on these shows. Like, you should know that you're better than Phaedra. Like, after what Phaedra did to you, you should know you're better than Phaedra. And so for Phaedra to be back on the same network that you work on, I would have to give it together. Like, I'm clearly better than this. For my own enjoyment, I do not think I'm going to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta next season. I wasn't going to watch it whether Kandi was on it or not. Kandi ain't got nothing else to get in that damn show. Kandi does not have nothing else to give to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like I said, same title, storyline. She don't see her kids. She don't see her husband. She's starting another business. It's just over. Like, the thing is, the reason why I know Kandi has nothing to give, it's not because I think Kandi has always been boring. Some people like to say that. No. Kandi has given good storylines. Those seasons where she's first getting with Todd and the stuff with Mama Joyce about to beat up Todd Mama not taking none of that shit. She about to beat up Mama Joyce. That shit was good. That was good, authentic television. And you can't get those moments back. And Kandi's story is just done. Like, Kandi has gotten everything she can get out of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's the highest paid person on Bravo on any of these shows. She has her man. She has a kid. She has her money. She has this, like, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. Like, when is it time to go home? When is it time to cut on the lights and leave the club? It's now. It is absolutely now. I am happy that Kandi is gone. What does that mean for the future of Real Housewives of Atlanta? I hope Kenya announces she's not coming back either. I hope this is now Kenya, because now, at least when someone else has been on the show longer than you, and you're still on it, you still have that to put your hat on. Now Kenya doesn't even have that anymore. Like, no one wants to be like Sheree, so do not use Sheree as an example for shit. You are the oldest person there, Kenya, that people still have respect for. It's time for Kenya to go. I never thought Kenya should have came back. I'm gonna be honest with you. There is no way I could have watched Porsha leave Real Housewives of Atlanta and I wouldn't have walked out with her. If Porsha don't need this show no more, I for damn sure don't need this show no more. I would have walked out right with Porsha. I would have never let Porsha quit Real Housewives of Atlanta before me. Like, what? You mean Porsha who got thrown out on the street by Cordell? Absolutely not. I would have left in. I think, like, Porsha leaving is a sign that everybody gotta go. That's what it is. And so, like, can you lead a show? Kenya, you can go do something else too. I just don't know. Kenya should have been someone, I think, who should have been able to pivot better from Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she hasn't. Like, and then you have to think, like, now she's a single mother. Her ex-husband ain't shit. So I know she needs this money, but there got to be something else to do. In a world where there are so many streaming services, you can start a YouTube channel, you can do something on you can do so much. This model of even like becoming successful is old. Like going on a reality TV show to get people to invest in you is actually kind of an old way of even thinking about celebrity. It's time for Kenya to say deuces too. It's time to say deuces. It's time to go. Kenya needs, she can find something else better to do. It would even be better if you went to go do like Traders. At least people enjoy Traders. Like I just think being on Real Housewives of Atlanta is so low brow. It is time to revamp all of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I just think Bravo altogether is just in some deep shit. So Kenya, you next on the docket, go, and let's just get rid of everyone. Let's just this should be a sign that this rendition of Real Housewives of Atlanta is over, but I could totally see them coming back and they're going to center the entire show around Kenya. It's just turning on another season of Real Housewives of Atlanta and seeing Kenya's going to be so late. It's just like, what are you still here for? Kenya, you don't care about none of these girls sitting up on this show. Oh my gosh. Anyways, editing Kenya. Yes, I have heard the news that Kenya and Porsha both might be on next season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Tomato, tomato. I'm throwing tomato. I don't want to see it. How many times do we have to see Kenya and Porsha argue about the same thing? I'm sorry. I'm not that far removed from the Bolo situation when Kenya and Porsha were arguing about Bolo, who was sleeping with Bolo. Kenya cared too much and Porsha didn't give a shit. Like, it's just the same stuff over and over again. It is like heating up Thanksgiving leftovers on Christmas morning. Like, oh my God, how many times do we have to do this? How many times do we have to do this? I'm hearing people say they should throw Phaedra in the mix, and I guess, like, if you're going to give us, the same old shit, you might as well throw Phaedra in it. But Phaedra don't need to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. It's late. Phaedra has made it very clear. She's not telling y'all shit about her life. She ain't telling you shit about the Kandi situation. She's not doing it. She's not gonna give y'all the pound of flesh. True Scorpio team. She's not gonna let y'all have the satisfaction. We do not like having our card pool. It's just not going to happen. And so no, I'm not here for it. No, it's not exciting. Sure, I like seeing Porsha on TV. I think Portia's a fun girl. But we just know exactly what's going to happen. Kenya and Porsha just don't align idealistically, and therefore they're always going to have the same points to argue about. It's the same stuff over and over and over again. Kenya just don't like Porsha, and Porsha not gonna put up with Kenya shit. And so like, both of them need to move on to brighter pastures. Brighter pastures. Get some other girls on here who need it, who want the fame, who want to show us they like. I just want new stories, new things to talk about, new things to call my sister and be like, hey, you saw this Real Housewives of Atlanta episode? I just want newness. But keeping Kenya on the show and adding Porsha, it's just like, we be gonna be talking about the same old ass shit. Spare me. Let's move on to some Married to Medicine stuff. Mariah has gone to the red table. And by the red table, I mean Carlos King. Carlos King is the new Jada Pinkett, baby. If you got grievances with Bravo or any reality show and you black, you go over to Carlos King. So Mariah has gone over to Carlos King to tell her side of the story. If you do not know Mariah, Mariah is the person who came up with Married to Medicine as a concept. She's the one who pitched it to Bravo, who got it picked up. She still has an executive producer credit and creative credit for Married to Medicine, but Mariah got kicked off of Married to Medicine. Mariah had enemies all around, and she got kicked off of Married to Medicine, and now she feels like it is time to tell her story. I'm willing to give Mariah things, and I'm willing to take away from Mariah. This is what I'm willing to give Mariah. Mariah did come up with something that a lot of people would not have been able to come up with. Like, Mariah saw these regular girls and realized, us regular girls, we can have a TV show that people tune into, and people who don't necessarily want the like over the topness of Real Housewives of Atlanta will like something like this. Like, she came up with that, and that is absolutely amazing. And you can't take that away from her. Mariah is also a real ass bitch, and I'm gonna also give it to her for that, because I love me a real ass bitch who seem like they stand on business. I love Mariah for that. But this is where I'm gonna have to take away from Mariah. Mariah did bad backroom business. Mariah just did bad backroom business, because one thing about being a head bitch, you always got to keep your ducks in a row. This is where I'm gonna give Giselle one thing and one thing only. And I'm gonna get this to Kandi too. Kandi and Giselle do good backroom business. Kandi and Giselle, they shake the hands of the people they need to shake hands with. They play the game well. They just know they know who they need to appease, and they appease them. And that's why there's never any, even though we all fucking hate Giselle's guts, Giselle's not going anywhere. Giselle's simply not going anywhere, because the people in power love her ass. They just love her. Mariah, you didn't do that. Mariah didn't have no friends. Mariah didn't have people in the production company who liked her. She didn't have no one to go to bat for her. And then she admits in the interview that she did used to tell people, this is called Married to Mariah. This is called Married to Mariah. Who's going to want to stick up for you? Who is going to want it? It's easy to say these women should have stuck up for you because you gave them everything that they have. But it's another thing for them to actually want to do it. It's another thing for them actually to feel like they should do it. If you're sunning them all of the time, why would they stick up for you? Why would they do that? So you don't got friends on the show. You're telling Heavenly her man cheating. You and Quad don't fell out. You don't like Jackie. You're making enemies out of everyone. You and Toya done already got to fighting down at the pool in the first season. You making enemies with all them. Then behind the scenes, production don't like your ass either. Production don't like you either. Like, I'm sorry. This is always my thing. If you are going to play games with the system, you're going to have to work within the system. That's why a bitch like me gonna try to go through the back door every single time, because I don't want to do the ass kissing. I don't want to do the politics. I don't want to do the playing the game. Like, that's just not me, right? But if you want the things that the system is going to give you, so Mariah wants to have productions on network cable television and all that stuff, you're going to have to play their games. You're going to have to play their games, and their games come with bullshit. And you can't be mad when you want the shit they got and they decide they don't want you. That's just not how it's going to work. And so you thought you had leverage, you didn't, and they got you kicked off of your own show. But that don't happen to people who are doing good backroom politics. You don't get kicked off your own show if you keep in house. Mariah did a terrible job at keeping house. Mariah should have always had 2 or 3 bitches on the show that she was cool with. She should have always stayed cool with Jackie and Simone. Jackie and Simone, she should have always stayed cool with. The rest of them, who gives a fuck? But Jackie and Simone, she should have always stayed cool with, and she would have never left the show. She would have never left the show. I'm sorry, it's a game of politics. It's a game of politics, and Mariah played bad politics. And so those women were more than happy to get rid of her. Mariah's bitter about being kicked off of the show. But Mariah's also not wrong. Mariah was talking about what's wrong with the show, and she is 100% right. There is something so inauthentic about Married to Medicine at this current moment. Like, no one's being real. No one's being real, and no one's showing anything. Like, we don't know what the fuck's going on with Jackie and Curtis relationship. We don't even know what's going on in Simone and Cecil relationship. We get the most out of Toya and Eugene's relationship, but not really. Like, we know Toya gonna be an ass to Eugene whenever she get a chance to, but nothing more out of that. Quad's getting kicked off the show. Like, what is there? And Heavenly has never given us a personal storyline. And so it's just like, what are we here for? What made this show so good was us getting a peek into these dysfunctional ass people's lives. And we're not getting that anymore. But I think Mariah's most on the nose and perfect take is on Heavenly. I have the exact same issue with Heavenly that Mariah points out. Mariah said in her interview that Heavenly is best as a wild card. And she literally took the words out of my mind. She is so correct. Heavenly now is a caricature of what we met Heavenly at. Heavenly was always funny, feisty, could get things going, but now Heavenly does that up to like an umpteenth degree, and it's now cartoonish. The way that Heavenly acts is cartoonish. You can tell she's picking on Sweetie because what else is she going to do? She's coming at Quad because what else is she going to do? It's always a what else is Heavenly going to do, because Heavenly's not going to give you a personal storyline. So Heavenly only note is to just pick problems with people, right? It's to say things other people are not going to say, but it becomes stale. Heavenly does not have any real issues with Sweet Tea. It's just for show. And so when you hear Heavenly talk about the show, all Heavenly cares about is making good TV. And so Mariah said that Heavenly reads every single comment she does. Heavenly looks to see what people want to see out of her, and that's what she does. Instead of just being. And of course, there's a time for like production and producing, and of course you do have to play up things that like people like about you, but Heavenly does it to the point where it's not even entertaining. It's not even entertaining, and I agree. I think Heavenly trying to produce the show too much makes the show not good. It makes the show not good, and I think that Mariah is 100% right about everyone doing nothing. The thing I am not going to give Mariah, and something you guys like to say too, Jackie, Dr. Jackie is the real villain. Who are y'all trying to convince? Us or yourself? Jackie is not the villain of that show. I get it. Jackie is pretentious. Jackie can be condescending. Jackie can be rude. And we have seen Jackie be mean. But Jackie is not the villain of that show. It is just really, you are so hard pressed to convince me that Jackie gives a fuck about any of these women on the show. That is Jackie's real issue. Jackie, I do not think, has any real attachment to anyone on this show. I think Jackie is all business, quite frankly. I don't think Jackie has some real deep attachment to anybody in her damn life. Jackie has a goal, Jackie has a vision, and that is to do whatever she is doing in the doctor realm. But I do not think Jackie has any real attachment to this show to give a damn what these girls are doing or not doing. I do not think Jackie sits at home and it's like, we need to get this person off the show. We need to do this, that. I don't think Jackie cares. Quad could come back tomorrow and Jackie wouldn't give a damn either way. Jackie would not give a damn either way. If Quad was on the show, Contessa come back, she wouldn't give a damn. She doesn't care. Jackie simply does not care. So when y'all are trying to say Jackie is the real villain of this show, you're giving Jackie far too much credit. Jackie's problem is that Jackie is so indifferent. Jackie is so indifferent about this show that it makes her like useless on this show when it comes to an entertainment value. She don't care. Jackie does not care. So no, Mariah, you just don't like Jackie, but I do not think Jackie is the real villain on the show. I do not think Jackie is just in the background like Giselle, tap dancing all through people's lives. I do not think that is. Yes, Jackie probably got shady shit to say about each and every one of these girls, but here's the thing. If I'm talking shit about y'all behind the camera and would never say it to your face, how the fuck does that make me the villain? I'm sparing y'all. I'm sparing y'all. How does that make me the villain? Just because I talk shit about y'all behind y'all back, that just makes me somebody who don't want no drama with y'all. So like it doesn't ring true, y'all. I'm so sorry. Y'all keep trying to do this every time. Instead of just saying y'all don't like Jackie and Jackie's pretentious and rude and mean sometimes and think she's better than people, instead of just saying that, y'all try to make Jackie the worst person in the world, and it just doesn't work because it's just like, so Jackie been on this show 10 years and we just like, come on, y'all. Jackie just be full of shit. That's Jackie issue. Jackie full of shit. The real villain on the show is Simone. Seeing this past episode with everything with Hilton Head and her and Heavenly and blah, 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 the real villain of the show is fucking Simone. Simone has said something rude and nasty to every single person on this show. Simone has, I think, if every issue on this show has revolved around Simone, yes, it has. Yes, it has. I want you to find every main controversy on this show, and Simone is somewhere in it. Whether somebody had a conversation with Simone and that's how the shit got started, whether Simone started the shit herself, like we can go through so many incidents, and Simone is always at the scene of the crime. Simone is always at the scene of the crime, and I have always thought, this is why I've never been a Simone fan, because I've seen through Simone since day one. Simone is messy. Simone is actually the messiest person on this show. And when Simone is in any situation where she feels like her card is being drawn, she's going to say the worst possible shit about you. Even her bestie, Toya, she has said absolutely terrible things about Toya. Simone is the villain of the show. So you want to talk about somebody who's actually tap dancing on this show? Like, the fact that at one point Simone and Quad were literally besties, and now she's a part of Quad getting kicked off this show. Like I said, Jackie don't give a shit. Jackie do not give a shit whether Quad is here or not. I do not think Jackie hates Quad. Jackie was on those lives with Quad when the season first started. I don't think Jackie cares if Quad is here or not. It's Simone who cares. Simone cares. Simone is the one invested in this show and whose lives. So if you let me tell it, Simone is the villain of this show. Toya is just always going to be Toya. Like Toya plays everything too wide open. You know what's going on with Toya. And same thing with Quad. Quad is always going to be on the defense. So you know it's and Heavenly, like I said, Heavenly plays everything for fun. So there's no way Heavenly could be the villain of the show. It's Simone. If there is a villain of the show, it's Simone. It's Simone is who y'all be acting like. Simone is who y'all think Jackie is. Jackie, all of Jackie's faults are on Front Street. You see everything that's an issue with Jackie. Simone is who's really the villain. So anyways, that's my thoughts on Married to Medicine. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.